Welcome to the 2% Club, where we talk all things work, wealth, and wellness, with the founders, funders, and forward thinkers rewriting old playbooks with intention. I'm your host, Rachel Hirsch, venture investor, wellness operator, and founder of Wellness Growth Ventures. Each week, we dive into bold conversations about scaling companies, building wealth, investing wisely, and staying mostly sane while doing it. Welcome back to the 2% Club podcast, where we talk all things work, wealth, and wellness. I am your host, Rachel Hirsch, and today we're back with our hot takes with Melissa Gelman-Weiss. We have all the hot takes on investing, getting investors, and what it's really like to have people on your cap table.
So here's my hot take.
Go for it.
Which is part of fundraising is saying no to money.
100%.
Yeah, I didn't know that when I was fundraising.
This was half of what we talked about in our Fundraising 101 course. I think that people, especially in these times, feel so desperate for money, and understandably, money is tight. And yet, that's when you need to be even more careful about the money you take, because these are partners. Sometimes these partnerships last longer than marriages. Hot take of the day.
That's the next podcast.
Okay, great.
I mean, the thing is, it's so interesting is like, I was raising money. I'd never raised before. To your point about like fundraising 101, I was raising on a safe note. I had to like look up what a safe note was to even like go forward with that. And I went to friends and family. The problem is like a lot of them had no experience investing in startups. And a friend told me after, like, don't take money from someone who's never done this before.
Yeah, that friend was smart. But you don't know. And especially because it's called a friends and family round. And I even experience it when I'm raising now too for the fund. So we call, if you, let's say you put, just for ease, $100, you want to put $100 into the fund. When you sign the documents, I'm not taking the $100 day one, versus if you invested in a company, they'd take all of that day one. I'm calling that over a period of like 4 years. And so there's all of these different pieces depending on what their investing experience is. And the more novice they are with private investing, you really got to make sure they understand the risks involved and what this is like and why they're doing it.
Rach, people don't read. Like, it's like, here's a lot of money, and you send them a document, which you've spent all of your money on paying the lawyer to write the document. It like cancels out the investment in the end. And then they come back, and most of these businesses fail. Mine did. And I got insane requests like, can I have my money back? Well, like, no, actually, that's not how it works. I'm not the Melissa Bank Savings and Loan. Like, that doesn't work that way. And it's like, oh, well, I thought you weren't going to use my money until you opened location 2. Well, if I had enough money to get to location 2, sister, I didn't need your check,
One of my favorite people and mentors, and I'll give him a shout out, Mike Randall, he said a quote to me one time that is the most true. Angel investing is a donation. Like, if you are angel investing, 1 out of 100 of those is going to skyrocket. The rest of them, you better expect that is just a write-off. Like, angel investing is just, that's it.
Yeah. And so I'm very grateful. This is actually 2 people in particular who invested. I'm very grateful. And like, I expect you to do your homework. I'm happy, whatever diligence you want, ask me, right? And you have to read the documents.
So, but here's I 100% agree with you. And I think like legally, you're probably 100% like in the right. But I would say people don't know what they don't know. And so people blindly trust. I'm guilty of this all the time, we know. And so I guess, how can we bridge that barrier, especially if we're trying to get more women comfortable investing? How do we, outside of Fundraising 101 and hosting 2% Club, like virtual meetups, how do we bridge that gap? Because it's not your responsibility to explain. It really wasn't. But how do we now fix that?
So I think there's, I'm going to kind of kick this back to you because I
Okay.
have some thoughts on it, but I actually wonder what you do think about the idea of me fundraising and sitting across the table from someone and saying, hey, this is a safe note. That doesn't mean that you're getting actual equity in the business, and explaining to them what a safe note is. I'm not sure that would help, but in the situation of the person who thought that I wasn't going to invest with them until I opened my second location, like, and I feel terrible about that. I feel really bad about both of these things. I also don't feel great that like so it just was a bad
Right.
situation that,
Quickly.
yeah, I feel like I disappointed people.
Yeah.
And I also am like, what do you want from me? You know?
Yeah. I mean, I think that one of the things that I tell founders all the time is you need to be interviewing us just the same way I'm interviewing you. If I'm
Yeah.
asking questions that you don't want to share the answers with, or if you decide you don't like the way we invest or whatever it might be, like you're allowed to say no. And that's not a bad thing. That's just like in life with friends, with like in a million different things. It's totally okay and probably the right thing for you. And it's not it's just not a one-way street. And if VC funding isn't for you, there are a million other options. And I don't understand why it has become such like a badge of honor to get VC funding or certain funds to invest with you. If their goals and incentives are misaligned with yours, no one will be happy. That is fact. And I can 100% guarantee if your incentives are misaligned and your goals are misaligned with your investors, you will never get a good outcome. No one will be happy. And so knowing that and saying no to the people where it doesn't feel good or something's off. And I would say, a good deal is when everyone compromises a little. A good deal is when,
Yeah, like that.
you don't feel like you've lost, but maybe you haven't won all the way. So there are going to be gives, but you should have the 100% autonomy to say no.
Yeah. I mean, your question actually about like how do we solve this?
Mm-hmm.
The first is, we did fundraising 101 for people who are raising money. And I just think there is a lot of opportunity to do the flip side of that, which is educating women on how to invest
Of this.
and creating a large cohort of women who have the knowledge to go out there and support in pre-seed, pre-revenue businesses in early rounds. So I think that's actually a huge opportunity.
And I don't even think it has to be pre-seed, pre-revenue. It could be for them to participate seed or series A potentially even. Although again, I want this to be curated and I want us to make sure we're like talking about what a good deal is as well. But that is a brilliant idea. I just got a message on TikTok, which is I never get messages on TikTok because no one talks to me on TikTok. But literally today, someone asked, "How did you invest in a private company?" Like this is exactly it. You're 100% right. This is always
Right.
full of the
And
best ideas.
and I think the thing is, because again, like I came in hot, but I really do want to say out loud, like I'm grateful to those people. They're
Totally.
smart women. I feel they both were upset for different reasons that they lost their money. One, her financial situation had changed, and the other one never read any of my emails or investor updates and only got back to me 3 months after I closed. So that's a whole different story. But like,
Less.
I feel like I'm excited about this. Like, I think it's almost more important to create an investor class of women than to educate women who are fundraising.
Okay, so we're gonna end this episode early so that Melissa and I can go strategize because I actually 100% think that's what we should do with like the next hour is figure out this class, what it looks like, and then send it out. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Who knew our
Yeah.
hot take session was going to be an ideation business session for
I
us?
know. I know. Well, we're, always monetizing.
Always monetizing. But if you're listening and you're interested in this class, drop that in the comments and we'll send you the link because I promise you this is going to go live within like 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yes. And also like the other key takeaway is like, just say no. If you're talking to someone and you really want their check, but they don't really know what they're signing up for, like, every mistake I ever made with a guy was thinking I could teach him in the relationship. Like, it doesn't work in relationships or in fundraising.
I have said no to LPs, like people that would potentially invest in the fund before, because it felt, for whatever reason, like gross, dirty, misaligned. And the stage I'm at, that really matters. But I have to put my head down on the pillow every night and hopefully learn to sleep at some point. So I felt good doing that. So I get how hard it is, but say it louder for the people in back, Melissa.
Yeah, people are also like not literate and very litigious. So, it's like doesn't make for a good marriage.
We understand firsthand here. At any rate, we appreciate you all tuning in, and listen to the full episode that comes out Monday. And we'll be back next week for your next hot take.
To announce our big takeaway from this.
Exactly. Have a good one. See you all next week.